Rahim here, Master of the Covenant, Breaker of the Seven Seals, the Watchman, brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters, I often give you the analogy of the gym. You know, those of you familiar with the gym, been going to the gym, or see it's something else. But anyway, basically, at least nowadays anyway, if you want to, you can tell someone, well, maybe not, but you want to go to, you want to get strong and muscles and abs and all that stuff, right? Well, basically, you got some at home stuff, right? Go to the gym for that. You got to work out. Bottom line, you got to work out. You got to work those muscles. There's no pill or anything you can take, right? You got to work those muscles, right? And the more you work, and the more benefits you're going to see. Because you see, guys, even little girls, right? Guys and girls, right? Go around, you can see, you can tell me they lift their weights, but they're going to the gym. First thing they're going to the gym. You don't think they're going to the bar. Lifting. And there's another thing about it, right? That, you know, when you go to the gym, right? They tend to overdo it because, see, and I know you're not putting these things together, right? And I can understand some of it, a lot of it maybe. But I talk about reaction rate, like water has a reaction rate. And you can use resonance. If you understand resonance, you use that, right? To overcome something. If you know it's reaction rate, right? And how to apply to overcome a reaction rate, then you can cripple it, destroy it, or whatever. That's the whole story about the walls of Jericho. So I'm not going to try to go a lot of detail here, brothers and sisters. I'm just trying to lay out some few things. So everything has a reaction rate. You have a reaction rate. Reaction rate is how fast you can heal from something. That's part of your reaction rate. If you get hit or you recover, like if you get a punch, how long will it take you to recover from that punch? That's your reaction rate. Some people can recover fast, people slower, right? We get an accident. You know, in other words, how fast, basically healing, how can you recover from some force, basically, in general. That's your reaction rate, at least in that sense. So if you go to the gym, right, you go out and lifting, right? Then you apply force to your body. And so your body has to adjust to that, absorb that, before you can do it again. Because if you do it more before why are you going to start hurting things? There are people known that have heart attacks and things because they went to the gym and they overdid it, and they maybe was pushed trying to impress somebody, and they destroyed themselves because they would overcame the reaction rate. They didn't realize they was doing it because they think, hey man, I just live, man. I was going to get better and better, but they don't understand the concept of reaction rate. And most of you didn't understand. Most people understand it. I'm explaining to you. That's how resonance. That's the tool. That's how you use resonance. That's a weapon. You can use resonance as a weapon if you know somebody's reaction rate and the force, right, to apply, right, to invoke a reaction. Okay. So they have a thing called burnt out. Now, burnout is another thing. Burnout is you overcome your reaction rate. Because when you burn out, right, that means now you can't do anything because your body's trying to recover. And so in other words, like you might be more than 2 or 3, 4 months, you can't do anything because your body's trying to recover because you overcame your reaction rate, Now your body takes much longer, right? If it didn't hurt something or pull a muscle or cause some kind of destructive aspect, that's what burnout is. You overcame your reaction rate. See, now it takes a while to understand. So let me detour for a minute. Let me go ahead and finish this because I'll forget. So I told you, I had that dream when I was a child, that vision about me being totally worn out. And it's not like experience, which I'm going to talk about in a second. That's what I'm going to get on to. Because you can have knowledge, but experience, it's better. Right? I mean, it's more powerful than knowledge, but sometimes experiences, you don't want to experience depth to understand it, right? I mean, you got to put stay in perspective. And I understand it, right? And now I begin to understand it. See? Because I look at all those things I was doing, and once I understood reaction rate, I realized that's what I had done. Because for 30 years, I was just pushing, and never let my body adjust. I'm not talking about body in this case. I'm going to say body now, but I'm going to clear it up in a minute. Until at this point, right? At the time, when the time came, the end came, right? When we got to the end game, I was like burnt out because I kept pushing, and I'm just getting it done, and I wasn't conscious of my reaction rate in that respect. You understand? And so that's where I'm at right now, because I am burnt out. Right? And I'm still pushing because I got to. I got to be very careful. I don't destroy something. Because, like I said, 30 years of constantly pushing, not taking any breaks. Because I didn't think about reaction rate, that type of thing. I didn't think about that. I like to be getting the message out. See? And now I'm saying that, so people say, yeah, man, see, I should, some of these Negro bus think, oh, yeah, there's that excuse. See, man, see, you pushed you all. I should let me alone because I'm actually, whatever. But that's what the Lamb would do. Right? He said, you just push yourself. Right? Because he sacrificed, that's a sacrifice. He sacrificed himself. Right? His health and everything else, his family and everything else. To get his job done. Right? And so there was a backstory behind that vision and everything. It took me a while to understand it. In fact, just more recently, actually, because I never considered it in that respect. So let me talk about something else here. We're talking about the same thing. Okay, so you're at the gym. Now you got these guys at the gym, man, maybe guys and gals, right? They look like the Hulk, man. They've been in that gym working out for years. And with this situation here, this same thing applies to all situations. I don't think I'm going to get into that right now. And so here's come a person that went to school to be a personal trainer. They would learn all about being a personal trainer. So they busted in the gym, man. They want to do some personal training. And the guys won't listen to him. He knows all about personal training. Now he got an AME maxed the course. Come up, blah, blah, really good. The highest awards and everything. See, why? Because he lacks the power of experience. He has the knowledge, but he has the power of the experience to go with it. You see, and they got the experience. And so there's knowledge that comes with the experience, right? Because the experience has knowledge within itself. They don't have the technical knowledge, the school knowledge, but they got the knowledge of the experience because look, you just look at them. You can just look at them. And they might know all the technical words, all that kind of stuff, right? But they got experience and so they're going to listen to him. See? Then he gets a little mad about it because they don't listen to him. See? Because he comes in with knowledge, he don't have experience. They have knowledge, they don't have the technical knowledge he has, but but they got a knowledge of what they're doing in the spirit, that what they experience. Because certain knowledge comes with experience. Not school knowledge, not technical knowledge, but certain knowledge comes with experience. See? Because it had the power of experience that goes with it, the depth of it. You see? And so they tell them, hey, you go out and lift, and go out and lift some weights, and you start applying that knowledge on yourself. And then maybe we'll listen to you, because what are you going to tell us? Anyway, a lot of stuff you're going to say, you probably change once you get the experience. You say, oh man, maybe I should, because everybody's different. You saw this in the book, you saw the classic knowledge, but classic knowledge don't work in the real world. Because when you apply classic knowledge, you're going to find out that, like I explained to you, I says, oh, classic knowledge, if you black, right? But then when you look at it, oh, it's not that clear. Because you could be black stone, but you could still be a devil. You see, the classic would tell you, because the lessons give you the classic definition. It doesn't tell you about the nuances like demons and things like that. You understand? So once you get in there and do it, they say, oh, there's demons, and there's some people that's white, maybe original, and so forth and so on. Hold on, brothers and sisters. I'm trying to get in. I can't hear you. And nowadays, right? You understand? So he said, hey, no. Once you get the experience out there, you say, oh, we don't know. Just because you got white skin, that don't mean. And I'm going to get into that a little more detail later. See? So that's what I'm listening to. Because you say, yeah, that sounds technical, but when you apply it to the real, you might have a different take on it. Like, someone was saying all thing, and what it was technically right about emotion and stuff, but when you apply it to the real thing, then there's a whole lot of nuances that you actually offend people because you're saying that way, but you ain't got the whole, you got the technical side, and that when you apply it, it don't fit now. Like like I said, one suit fits all, but it don't really work that way, does it? See? So that's why I was telling people, right? See, because it's like for angel, for instance, right? Okay. How can you take the angel is the gym, basically. So once you get in there and start doing those things, right, then you get certain knowledge and experience because you actually do these things. If you come and comment on you haven't done those things, and maybe your comments, they may sound all right, but they don't have the experience behind it. And so you gotta be careful because you could be totally wrong. Or you understand what I'm trying to say here, brothers and sisters. That's why you say, we don't want to listen to you. You stop trying to be a personal trainer here. You go out there and do some personal training yourself, get some experience, right? And come back in and yeah, now we can relate. See? Because then your whole program is going to change anyway, because once you get experience, you're going to have a different attitude, different perspective. Because you don't have the perspective of experience. And that's a powerful experience. It's like, children. They know everything, right? No experience. But they want you to listen to them. They get mad when you don't. Now here you're a parent and you've been around for forever and you got all this experience. Now you may not have education, you may not have a degree, but you got a lot of experience. And so they come and you tell us about their degree. I got this degree, I got this education, I went to school, and no experience whatsoever. But you're supposed to listen to them because they have that's bullshit. And I tell them to get the hell out of my face with that kind of garbage. I said, because that paper you got is just a piece of paper. And to cut to the chase here, I told you I had my own IT business. Right? I didn't have any degrees. I told myself, but devils, they'll respect that kind of stuff, right? You said the hood to my man, I know, but they don't want to hear that, right? But I know how to carry myself, right? And they'll respect me. And they assumed I had a degree, but that's where I carried myself, I think. But then when I went to the interview to take on the contract. They're gonna say, okay, I'm gonna take a bid or whatever to get this contract, right? They want to see my resume. They also want to go back and check my experience. What they go, go back and check your work. The other people that you work for, or that you've done jobs for, right? And I was always. They never liked me, but they loved my work. I never had an issue getting a contract, never, right? And I went to a contract, I always got it. People couldn't maze, because I know one time I left, and when I came back from Guam, right? And I wanted to get a contract, and we drove through 3 states. They told me they want to come in, interview me, and I just went. And my wife was with me, right? And you just gonna go there, man? You don't know. I said, I don't worry about that kind of stuff out there. I went there and I got it. That was it of it. See, and that's what I wrote anyway. And when they brought that to my question, I said, hold it, excuse me. Do you want experience or you want a piece of paper? That was in that argument. That was in an argument. You see, but a lot of people had a piece of paper. Right? My background, everything said I had experience, and that's what they were looking for. Understand? So, like I said, it's like we had about contract business, and that's that. And experience, right, is what they may not realize it. Because a lot of places tell you, they don't want you to even apply if you don't have a degree. I would apply anyway, right? And I was successful. With a name like Raheem and my attitude, because I got the same attitude. I mean, I got a professional attitude, be partying, socializing, all that kind of stuff, right? I keep my distance with devils, but when I have to work with them, so I got to get a job done. So yeah, we communicate, but it's strictly professional. And they in particular like that because they expect black folks to be, Amos Dandy. Hey, what's a very coming heart? That's respect, and that ain't me. Okay, so understand that. So let's take another step. Okay. Now, this is one thing black folks don't understand. I'm talking original black folks. Right? See, they don't equate brain with physique. Because if you want to develop your body, you got to go to the gym. But they don't realize. See, they take the brain for granted. They don't think you got to develop that too. Of course, see, people don't go to the gym, right? They walk around, especially after they get over 30, 40 years old. You see what they look like. Can't do anything. Can't lift anything. Tired. Got bad habits, smoking and drinking now. They don't feel good. Spend all the time at the doctor. You see what be happening? After 40, 50, you get worse. Walking over, bent over and everything. Because they ain't going to the gym. They ain't build their body up. See? And the same thing happens to your brain. See? And so you got to exercise your brain. And you don't get that. And that's what Angel is, because you got all kinds of gyms. You got gyms where you go in and you do what? You do cold things, right? Yoga, and you go around here, do some dancing. You got all kinds of gyms. Some, if you want to be a Arnold Schwarzenegger and Hogan, maybe, then you got to go to the big man gym, right? Big boys gym, whatever you want to call it. Because if you've been out there, you know the difference. You like, so some of those gyms are Gold Gym. I'm probably familiar with that. But you want to be like a fanatic, you go to a Gold's Gym. I particularly like Gold's Gym because those people out there, you got to kick ass. They go crazy up here. I used to go there and then woohoo. And then you got crunches. Then that's I think you have those up in Florida, in the south maybe. I'm not sure. I haven't seen one in the north yet. You got all these different gyms at different levels. Right? Now that if you want to exercise, you want to go in a fight, you got to get to the level of the fight has to be. That's towards the mental mind. And so if you fight with a giant, then you gotta be, if you fight with the Hulk, man, you see what you gotta do? You gotta go in there, man, I'm gonna get down with the Hulk, man, and you can't even lift 5 pounds. Now that's what they ain't even gonna start. And forget about that, you ain't gonna get started on that one. And you still understand that. It took me a while to even make the connection because I was just going to the gym. I didn't think about it in that terms, right? To me, I thought that's the thing to do. Keep on studying. Before I even got to injury, I was studying. I was developing my brain, developing. That's the hell. To me, it seemed like simple logic. If you're going to be in this world, develop it. And so I was going to develop everything. I was developing everything about myself. I was going to develop it. And so I started trying to develop my brain. And then when I ran to the angel, I realized that was the ultimate gym for this time. And so what happened there? Because say, go to gym, you got different machines and you got to master them. And same thing with angel. You got all these different verses and stuff downloaded, and you got to unlock them. And every time you unlock them, it's like you're living a machine, you're mastering a machine. And that's the brain. It took a lot of pain and a lot of work to do those things. Because if it ain't easy, how come you ain't done one of them? How come you ain't broke one of those verses that are easy? See? Because you want to look at the machine and you want to go in there, man, it's too heavy, don't do it. Because you don't want to put the work in and lift that damn thing because it's hard. Because I go to the gym now, I try to increase my weight, even though I'm 75, I'm trying to increase the weight. And I'm at the point right now where it's difficult for me to do it because it's not a muscle issue, it's a joint issue. So I guess getting older, my joints is little whatever. And so I try to lift more, and right now I can lift, but then my joints seem to go out. So I'm lifting a lot, but I was trying to go. I keep trying to go to the next level, and it's hard. You go there, man, and I'm not coming out of the gym. I spend 2 hours at the gym, from 5 to 7 every day. If I wouldn't eat one meal a day, I couldn't do that. That's no story together. I'm not getting into. But understand, brothers and sisters. So 30 years of constant lifting these every time. It's like after opening the machine, I have to get to where I can lift 1,000 pounds and press 1,000 pounds to open that one. Right? 2,000 pounds to open that one. That's the mental force that it took, the mental pain. Right? And so now that I've mastered all those gyms, now I'm walking around in the Hulk. See? And what does that mean? See? Because everybody else is like little, right? Little rabbits running around. I'm Hulk. Don't mess with me. See, then there's a whole different thing. See, because then you got to learn discipline. Because it's hard to be respectful of something that's so much weaker than you. Because your whole personality changed and the whole way you might act and carry yourself has changed. It's like when you take karate, right? When they tell you once you get the black belt, they say, now you got to show restraint because, if somebody says something to you, man, you can take his head off in a second. And you got to put a lot of stuff that you wouldn't put up with before. See, because now your hands are weapons. And so you got to get personality changes. And you look at people differently. See? Because before you look at people equal, but then when you're a Hulk and you just got a person that's 100 pounds, how can you look at them as equal? You can't. Because you can know you dust the ground with them. And you ain't got no conversation about anything because they don't know. Unless they try to get a gym, they come to ask you advice. You ain't got to mess around with them. Now you might take and try to, if they want to get in the gym, you might say, go, okay, bring you in there, you start lifting, I'll show you how to lift and everything. Be a personal trainer for them, you might do that if you see interested. But after a year or 2 years, man, you see this company still lifting 1 pound, you see, and that's all you're doing, then I ain't waste your time with that, but you were serious. Do you understand the analogy that's going here, brothers and sisters? Just look into that. So when somebody come in and they give all the advice and everything, their personal, we don't want to hear it. And plus, it's mostly wrong anyway because it doesn't have the weight of experience. It doesn't have the weight of the angel experience. The angel power. It doesn't have that. So what good is it? So they might get offended. Oh man, well, see, well that's part of the problem. If you get you go to the gym and you get offended because I tell you, man, get out of my way, man. I'm trying to lift this weight and you weigh 200 pounds. Hey, you put yourself in that position. Why should they defer to you when you out there on the machine you said the machine they want to use, right? And you on the cell phone talking to your friend and taking selfies and everything else. And they say, man, get that out the way, man. You just try to get that out the way, man. I'm going to use the machine. I'm going to do something with it. Or you just sitting on it. I hope you understand. I'm going to leave it there on that one, brothers and sisters. See? Because most of you don't understand anything. Because you don't have the experience to understand it. So you take offense, you get upset and everything, because you don't have the experience to go behind it. And let me say, I'm going to say one thing, because I got a lot of someone to talk about. I'm kind of short now. I got to talk to the woman already. I was in the military. And they kept telling me I was a leader. And, they basically messed me up, basically. They did, because they was, that's a long story. I don't want to go into it, brothers and sisters. But I went at 17. I tested out. I didn't have like I said, I didn't finish first year of high school. I got in there. I was about 2 months ago. I dropped out. And so I went to the military, and I said I wanted to be an officer. Right? So you had to take an OCT test, like they call it, officer candidate test, like they call it. And I jammed it. And they said, well, but you got to have a high school education too. Let's go to that school. It's 6-month school, right? And so I said, okay. And so they offered GED, but you have to go to school to prepare for it. I said, no, let me test out, because if you test out and you fail, you got to wait 2 years or whatever before you can do it again, right? And I was 17. And so I said, no, I'm just going to test out, bam, I maxed it. I did so well that now I was 17, right? The New Jersey Board of Education issued me what do you call it? Well, they issued a diploma. I forgot what diploma they called it. But I actually got a high school diploma from the state of New Jersey, right? I forget this name they call it when you don't actually, if you test out on it or whatever. So I did so well. So now I have my diploma, I got a GED. I got GED plus they gave me, New Jersey gave me a diploma. So I had a high school diploma. Never got good. That's the word they call for that kind of diploma. But it's just as good as a regular one, right? You can use just as good as a regular one. Plus GED in most places is just as good as a diploma anyways. I had both, right? I forgot the name they call it, that kind of diploma, right? If they call it anything different, maybe not. It's been so long ago, right? 50 years ago, that happened. And so now I'm ready. I go through basic training. And after basic training, right, then you go to OCS, Officer Candidate School, right? And you come out as second lieutenant, just like when you come out of West Point. You're the same rank. Only they went to West Point, you went to college for it. You went to Officer Candidate School. It's 6 months. But you had to pass it. If you pass it, you go to all the physical, all this stuff, right? So after that's basic, I was cool. And so then I was prepared to go. They told me I couldn't go. I said, what do you mean I can't go? They said, well, you got to be 18 and a half years old. I said, well, I'm 17. I said, man, I'm going to wait a year and a half to do that. I said, man, that's bullshit. I got pissed off. I said, you didn't tell me that when I signed up. Well, that's the way it is. So I said, no, I got to be a listed man for a year and a half before you let me go to OCS, right? And that's your error because you didn't tell me, you lied to me, right? So, and that started so that and a lot of other things I finally got out of the military. But until my main reason for leaving the Free Lions Muhammad, right? But anyway, what I'm getting to is when you go to OCS, right? Now remember, you got to be 18 and a half. So when you come out here, it's a 6 month course, right? So you're 18 and a half, you come out at 19 years old, and you're second lieutenant, right? You're officer. Now you got like the 101st born and 87th Airborne, all these guys, right? These guys they've been in the military for 20, 30 years. A lot of them black guys too, right? They're the Hawk. But they ain't officers. They are what they call NCOs. They're not non-commissioned officer. So like a sergeant, or sergeant, something like that, right? And but a lieutenant, they have to obey a lieutenant because he's an actual officer. So this guy might have been in the Army for 30 years and he got 5 stripes, but he got 10 stripes, but he's got to obey the second lieutenant because the lieutenant, he's an officer. And they have to call him a sir and salute him. Now imagine that. So here you go to Vietnam, and here's a guy, he's 19 years old. Especially a white guy, right? And you know how they talk. Now I don't know if you know, but most of these police officers, white ones, they have to go to special school when they become a police officer to learn how to have a command voice. Because their normal voice is, move over there, buddy. You better get that, buddy. Hey, buddy, how you doing, buddy? Really? They stop you and say, hey, man, you gotta, hey, buddy, you been speeding. I'm not going to give you a ticket, Ooh. And you are, man, you one of the Bloods or the Crips. Right? Man, somebody's going to jail. But anyway, that's what happened. So you go to Vietnam, and now you command these guys, and you just 19 years old, and you got no experience. You talking like that? They have a thing called fragging. And what fragging is that also being a tent. And what you would do is you have a grenade, and you put it on the grenade, you slide on a tent while they're sleeping. That was an officer. That's how to get rid of them. And I don't know, y'all remember that movie with, what's his name, the guy, the black guy, I forget his name. He played in Django as Stephen or West Stephen, whatever it was. But he played in this movie where he was a officer in Vietnam and everything, and said he was on trial because he had killed these people. And then one of the things he said, what was the life expectancy of a junior officer in Vietnam? He said like about 30 seconds, because they got rid of them. The old people got rid of them. They didn't want to hear that shit. Excuse me, they didn't want to hear it. I mean, their life on the line. And this guy, he don't have experience. This guy been in the military 30 years, and he got to listen to this guy. Now he might have all that technical background. He ain't got no experience. They said, hey, buddy, yeah, go over here. I want you to go over here and take that bill. What? That's into him. And that was a big thing in Vietnam. So I just get another thing about experience. See, because we want to jump out there and talk, and that's especially our younger, especially younger folks. They want to get out and talk about experience, and they want you to listen to that crap. And we got to stop that. Get some experience. See, I tell people, if you want to get the angel, get in there and start learning the angel before you start talking, explaining stuff, because you don't have the experience to go with it. So you don't know if you're saying the right thing or not. Then move on. Okay. I'm going to reiterate a couple things I said yesterday, and I'm going to talk about this a different perspective here, because things are heating up, brothers and sisters. And once you understand the angel, you understand how pressure works, right? Then you know this is not going to calm down. And so all you know is just at what point will it boil. And we're at the boiling point now, from my point of view. Anyway, I'm going to show a couple things here. Now I'm going to go back to the SEALs again. And, like I said, I'm trying, I wasn't going to do anything. Like I said, I'm burnt out, brothers and sisters. All right? And I got to get this going. And people tell me, and even a doctor tell me, I need to slow down. And he ain't saying nothing about my health. Right? It's just that if you've been burnt out, you know what I'm talking about. It's not about, right? It's, what's that? Anyway, I gotta get this done. I'm gonna get it done. They've accused me to do it. Like I said, he couldn't find anyone to help him. So is that an excuse for not getting it done? So I know you understand this. I'm gonna give you a little bit here on the SEALs. And the fourth SEAL is the one I want to focus on. Because I said, When he opened up the fourth seal, I heard the voice fourth living saying, "Be you coming?" I said, "Look, horse greenish yellow, and set upon top it, death and Hades was following with him, and gave him authority upon the fourth earth to kill long sword and famine, death, and by the wild beast earth." That's why I want you to focus on the last part. Right? Focus on the last part. It says, Hades, see, because you got to understand the first four. If you understand all the seals, then you have to understand each seal understands the whole verse, but I'm not going to go into all that kind of detail. Right? So look, I saw the horse, a greenish horse, and set upon the name of death, and Hades was following him, give him authority upon the fourth of the earth. Now I'm going to show you this. Let me see if I can bring this up. Let me see if I can bring this up. I don't confuse anybody here. Okay. Mm-hmm. There you go. Okay, you know, uneducated understand this. Okay, the earth is four parts, uneducated. So America represents 1/4, Britain represents 1/4, Russia represents 1/4, and Europe, EU represents 1/4, right? So it's talking to one of them. Because it said 1/4 upon the fourth of the earth. So this happened just to the fourth. It don't have that one on 1/4 earth. So it happened only one of them, right? See? And this is the fourth seal, right? Okay. And the death is the one that was on top of him. That's where he saw the black horse. And the one above that was Hades. So that's right. So that's the Oriental world, China, Japan, whatever. Then you got the Asian world, and on top of that is the Arabs. I'm not good at kind of detail about sisters. Okay. So it says it was given to them authority upon the fourth earth. So these have authority upon the fourth earth. And the kind of authority they had was the fourth earth is this. It says to kill a long sword. Now you understand that kill a long sword represents Hades. Right? To kill long sword and in famine and in death. Death represents Oriental. And by the wild beasts of the earth. And the wild beasts of the earth, right? Remember, they're part of the earth, but that's Russia and Europe. See, and the fourth they're talking about is America. So that's what he was telling you, that they would take, right? And that's right. That's how America's going to be looking at it when it's in. It says all those are going to be after them. So that's another way of looking at it for those that understand anything about the engine on the goat and all that kind of stuff, right? But that's what it's talking about. It says it was given the authority upon the fourth of the earth, right? And it says the wild beasts, so in other words, it said Europe and Russia is going to turn against America. And also China and India. So I just thought I'd mention that. Let's go. Okay. So you can look at this on your own leisure, but since I just thought I'd mention that. Okay. And when you open up the fifth seal, now this is another crucial one here. See, how much information they're giving you here. They tell you how much. Well, I'm going to exterminate here, but I got a little hair problem. Ooh. Anyway, the fifth seal. Now, what the fifth seal is about here, brothers and sisters, this is about what's going on right now. But you don't understand that way. And I saw underneath the altar souls that had been slaughtered through the word of God and through the witness they were having. Let's talk about two witnesses. Now, two witnesses are Shia. The Shia are Syria and Iran. See, it ain't Farrakhan and Elijah. that's so dumb, right? But anyway, what you dumb people gonna say dumb things, right? The witness they were having, and they cry our voice great until when, Master, holy and true. They taught Master Prophet Muhammad here. They're talking about Master Muhammad here. That's what they're talking about. That's what they're talking to. Remember, because he's their 12th Imam. That's what they're talking to here. It says, until when, Master, holding true, now you judging and are you avenging above us? And when you going to step up and take and avenge us? See, when you going to go into action? When you going to war? What you waiting for? See? And are you not avenging the blood of us out of heaven upon the earth? Remember the earth? You know, that's America again, that fourth earth I was talking about. It was giving them each robe white. And that's why it shows that it's white in the angel, right? It was told, or they will rest up time little until she be filled also the fellow slaves them as the brother them about to be killed also. In other words, it's two of them. And it says, I'm not going to action until you, right? Let me move this out of the way, brothers and sisters. Hold on for a minute. Well, I guess you will see this. Right? Anyway, above them is about to be killed. In other words, what's happening is that, remember, it's two of them. So one of them has already been attacked. So now you got to go through the same thing they went through. And then I'm going to action. So when you look at it, they attacked Iran. They attacked Iran. Not Iraq. Well, excuse me. They attacked Iran. Iraq attacked Iran, but America was backing them. Everybody was backing America when they attacked. When they attacked Iran, they went to war with Iran, and that war lasted about 8 years. Right, and then after that, what? They went after Syria. See, and now, right now, they're in Syria. They're attacking Syria. They take control of Syria's land. They got troops in there. Syria don't want them there. All that kind of stuff, right? And forces got part of Syria's land. So in other words, that's saying you got to go through that too. You got to be attacked too. And once that happens, then I'm going to action. You understand, bosses? So this is important right now because it tells you that, right, that, like I said, Iran and Syria is about to go to war with Israel, false Israel. See? And so, and right now, people are backing off of Syria, at least when that's no story, the Sunnis are. But the point is that as soon as, in other words, you look at it from another point of view, it says, I'm going to war after you've done that. Right? But another way of looking at it, once I go to war, that period is over. I've decided that you've had enough. And so now I'm going to war. Right? You understand what I'm saying here? That's what it's saying here. And so that's what's going that's what's going on right now, because they're also attacking Syria. You understand, brothers and sisters? And so the war is about to happen. When it happens, that means, right? Once it happens, they won't be attacking Syria more, because now Syria is taking control because they're winning. So that process will have ended. Does that make sense? You understand, brothers and sisters? That's what that's talking right there. See? Because that process will end once Syria goes on the attack. Because right now Syria's on its defensive. Man, because you got to go through what they went through. You got to go through Iran, your brothers went through. And then I'm going to action. When I go into action, you won't be going through that no more. Because now you're part of my military and you don't want to kick an ass here. Okay, let's move on. And then the sixth seal. It says there was a great shaking. That's a war. See, somebody said earthquakes. It's an earthquake shaking. That's the what's going on right now. A great shaking. See? Well, actually, I mean, that's the beginning of it, but the actual war, right? When Michael's angels make their move, right? That's the shaking. It's a great shaking, a great curtain. Then the sun became black. That's when Suleiman suddenly takes over this inner eye. Suddenly. and started him fell on earth, right? That's the four winds. And the fig tree is strong as unripe figs, right? Now we know the fig tree right there, the fig tree represents false Israel. It's figs as American Britain, right? And it says, it's throwing the upright figs. I mean, it's these figs, in other words, they're there, but they throw them before they was unripe, before they was ready. And you understand, and your key to know, that means they're getting ready to attack. But Matthew went preempted it because he did it before they had a chance to attack us. That's where the figs are unripe. See, because as fig trees, I'm throwing the ripe figs are great, as the wind grape being shaken. Remember, it was a great shaking? So that shaking caused them to be thrown out the Middle East and attack us before they was ready to do it. So I'm going to leave that there, brothers and sisters. That's something you can ponder and study. You can read the rest of it. But these things are pertinent to what's happening right now. And if you don't understand anything about the angel key, you don't understand any of this. And those that study angel key, I'm not sure how well they understand it. But these are what's happening right now. See? Okay. And I'm going to close out in a minute, brothers and sisters, because my voice is shaking up, and like I said, and I'm going to keep on, I'm worn out, brothers and sisters. And I got a project I need to get done, because any day now, this war starts. When it starts, I'll have control of the NOI. And I got to prepare him to go to the tribulation, and I got to get this document done like this. And my motivation is gone. I mean, I'm like burnt out, but I got to get it done. And then I was trying to delegate some of this to some other people so they could keep dropping the bombs, because now it's time to drop bombs, bro. It's time to shoot missiles. I mean, they've been giving atomic bombs. I mean, it's the greatest explosives on the planet at the greatest time in the planet, and they're not using them. And I said, well, if y'all do that, then I can focus on, because now you can't drop these bombs after, because they don't mean anything anymore. Search by the dead, shoot them at the dead, they don't mean anything. You just wasting bullets. That's Farrakhan stuff. Right? You got those bombs, you're probably using them now. Right? Fire for effect. That's what you're supposed to be doing now. Not sitting around looking. Right? So I'm gonna do it. I don't like I said, I don't do it. I can't do it, I do it. It needs to be done. And now I see what was done for me, because like I said, I am burnt out. I ain't complaining, but I am. Anyway, I did a little chart here. Okay. And so this gets back to, I'm explaining in a minute, right? It backs to these dates. And like I was telling you, Daniel was hard. It's a different machine, workout machine for the brain than Angel is. But you need both of them, because you got two sides of the brain. And I always said Daniel was like more oriented to the female thinking, right? So maybe they'll pick it up, maybe they won't. That's what I think, because the way it's designed and how it fits in with the angel, right? But I can't be 100% because I don't have a female perspective, neither do I, right? So I think, am I in the way here? Let me make sure I'm not in the way, because I tend to be in the way and don't realize it. And then I got to do it over again. Let me see if I can minimize this a little bit. Yeah, I think that'll work. Okay. So it talks about Daniel, like, and that was heavyweight stuff. That was like, I'm pressing 200 pounds, right? And the chapter 11, chapter 12 was like pressing 1,000. Oh, you got about 200,000, man. You're pulling muscles and you're getting hurt and everything else. Because if you read Daniel, in chapter 11 and 12, Daniel said he didn't understand it himself, man. He got the book, he didn't understand it. He said, I don't understand it. So, but the point is, he would understand it, because that's the book of the Ram. But at that point, he didn't understand it. He said, and that's the only time he says he understand something, because the book was hard. That's the hard, those two I put on the back burner, because I'm revealing to you right now, I never revealed to anybody before. I had to double check it a couple of times before I even started telling you about it. Because it was so hard to break that, it was so hard to break that down for a lot of reasons. And I finally got it, man. Like, and I think that's what kicked me over I think that's probably what kicked me over to burnout, right? Because lifting that, oof, and once I got it, was, see, it's a lot of reading. Because Daniel, another thing is, it's one of the places in Daniel where it coincides with the angel, and you have to understand something about the angel to get that. And this is a long story, but it was hard lifting this one. So it may seem easy to you now, right? But I had to lift this. It's like, say for instance, you got a garage, right? And the door is stuck, and you want to get out the garage. And now I got to lift a 5,000-pound door to let you get out the garage because the mechanism is not working. See what I'm saying? So he said, oh, yeah, but hey, did you know, man, look, I was straining myself, man, I got a hernia. You lift this damn thing, that's 5,000 pounds to lift up. I know you don't understand it. You will understand it one day. Because you think stuff is easy, but yet you ain't able to do it. So anyway, so I show right there. From 1948 until 2024, it said that be the time that abomination, see, talk about abomination desolation in two ways. They call it abomination that causes desolation and abomination of desolation. And you probably missed these hands, boy. You probably missed that little subtlety. I keep telling you, you got to pay attention to these things, brothers and sisters. See? So, because abominations that cause desolation, they're abomination. They're abominations. False is an abomination. Look up they're an abomination. And they causing desolation. See? That's why they call it standing. The abomination that caused this, they standing in a holy place, Jerusalem. That if you read it carefully, that tells you all you need to know right there. Right? And so that's what it is. And it says they would be there for 76 years, which would put you at 2024. And then they'll be wiped out. Because they're an abomination. Abomination is like something filtered and everything else, right? That you got to clean out. It said it will be cleaned out after 76 years. So in 70, now, right now, and now people are talking about annihilation. That's what Rand said. We're going to annihilate. Oh, so we ain't going to just attack you. We're going to annihilate your ass, get rid of you. And we know Jerusalem about a side of the army. So anyway, that's very powerful. Because it says, that's exactly what it says. Do the math. 76 years. And then that'd be the abomination. I mean, Armageddon. Because before I come out, no, Armageddon has not started. Armageddon is a European war that will happen after the war in heaven, in the Middle East. That's going to kick off Armageddon. You understand? So that's what it says, 1948 to 2024. Right? And then it tells you, right, from the time, right, that's the sacrifice, that means our sacrifice ended in 2020. We still make sacrifice for 40 years, 2019 to 2019. And so from that point, then sacrifice ended, right, until abomination, right, of desolation. That's them. One's abomination that caused desolation, one's abomination of desolation. That's what's going on right now. It says, right? And that would be 3.5 years, something like along those lines, which would put you at 2023, October. See? That's also this judgment, because the judgment starts in 2020. The plagues and things inside of there, that beginning of plagues, it's judgment. See? And a little sidebar here. You know, I told you, when the flood is released, the dam is broke, right? Then all the consequences that you've been held back, so they come at you like a flood. That's it. That's time also, because that consequence is like what they call it, backfire. So whatever you do is going to be done back to you. See, but if it's held, it be done back to you, right? So what's happening right now is you can see what's going to happen to false Israel, because what they're doing to Gaza, that's exactly what the Bible says is going to happen. So they're building their own destruction. Like even the Iranians said, they build their own grave. Because what they're doing is starving people, killing children, Everything they're doing right now is going to come back to them, because that's what it says. They become a backfire. It says you run from the lion, you run to the bear. You run from the bear, right? And you run into a snake, right? You understand, brothers and sisters? So what you see, what you're witnessing right now, is a preview of what's going to happen for Israel. And I'm saying it's going to happen this month, because the math adds up. If it don't happen this month, that means it's going to happen. It's going to have to happen between October and November. And I don't think so, because that means September they'd have to have peace. And I don't think so, because the peace was in September of 2023. Because it says when they say peace and safety, sudden destruction will come. And exactly what happened, because they was talking about peace and safety in 2023. Farrakhan, we're gonna get together. We're gonna sit down with NASA and all his bullshit, right? Okay, so there it is. That's the numbers, right? So that will start in 2023. And then the abomination desolation will last what? Until Armageddon, until the war's over. To 2024. Which is here. And so that's also the war's going to start. And the war starts, that kicks off in Armageddon. Almost simultaneous. That's why I left it like that. It's close enough. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. Let's move on. Okay, the angel. After 70 years, I was talking 76 years. Here's 76 years right here. See? And how long one saint speak to another until a certain saint could speak? How long shall be the vision of the concerning daily sacrifice? The daily sacrifice, whose daily sacrifice for 40 years would be sacrificed. Our whole nature was sacrificed. And we can go more detail about that too, but I'm not going to do it right now. But that was our sacrifice. We sacrificed. See? And the scripture has a lot to say about that, but I'm not going to do it right now. Maybe another time. And the vision concerning desert and transgression of desolation. So be a so how long shall be, okay, this, and to give the sanctuary and the host be triumphant. So doing this transgress desolation, the sanctuary, and the people that's being false Israel, Jerusalem and the Palestinians will be trembling on the foot during this time, during transgression of desolation. See, that transgression will cause desolation. See? So, what it's talking about here is that's the 76 years. When false Israel got in there and they took control of land, that means the sanctuary is Jerusalem, right? And the people would be trembling on the foot for 76 years. But it would start during the time of the sacrifice while we're still, in other words, before 2020. It would start before 2020. It's also a double connection in between Suleiman and the fact that you can see at the same time, but that's a little complicated process, so I'm not going to go there. But double sacrifice means, when double sacrifice, that means we're still being under sacrifice. So that would happen during there. And it's in a transgression of desolation. That means, right? Because that's when they came and took land. It's a transgression. They come and take the mountains of land. It's a transgression of destruction. To give both the sanctuary and it explains it. This is desolation. To give both sanctuary and the host trial on foot. That's the desolation. That's they've been doing to Palestinians for 76 years in their land. See? And then it will be cleansed. That means they finally be defeated. They finally clean that place up. Because the people that's called this age finally cleaned up. Cleaned out. And that's this year. And there you go. 76 years. Yeah, 76 years plus, right? And you got the time frame has to be from March, because March is the first year. I explained that, so I'm not going to it again. March spring is the first year. It's been universal. The Romans changed it, right? Does that put you? I said October, November, the worst case. Well, August has to be before September or after September. I'm saying it's before September. Worst case is September. And I'm pretty much all in on this month. Within the next few days. Abomination of desolation. Again, see, from the time of daily sacrifice, you're taken away. In other words, right? When was that? That ended 2020. We're not sacrificing anymore. That sacrifice for the last 40 years, it stopped in 2020. The daily sacrifice should be taken away. Gotta understand carefully. And the abomination that make it desolate, see, you call it a different thing here. The abomination that makes it desolate set up. So it says, from 2020, right, it said be 1,290 days before the abomination, right? They make it desolate, because that's abomination. That's the abomination desolation. They're making Gaza. They're making. I told you, I got to do some spraying or something because exterminate's here. Ants is taking over. That's how long is it? See. So how long is that? 1,290 days from 220. What happens? Okay. That's 43 months. Coming to 3.6 years. 2020, right? Because the first of the month is March, so it's got March. That puts you what? 2023 October. That's what it says. That's when the abomination of desolation started. Now, it might seem easy to you, brothers and sisters, but I tell you, ooh, this was a brainstorm. It took me, because I looked this years ago, I had to make no sense of it. I didn't want to bother. I said, man, I couldn't make any sense of it. I went at it, and it was like, I got a lot of gray hairs, man. I said, they put most up there. I just couldn't get it. And then my brain got stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger, right? And started putting out things and found it. Now I was able to get the machine, know how to use it. But knowing how to use the machine ain't getting to it. It's a whole difference between actually using it. So once I got to it and understand when I started trying to lift that damn thing, damn, I think that's what took me over to, right? Tipped me over to, right, to burnout. Because that was, it may seem easy to you, brothers and sisters, that was so difficult. That's one of the hardest things I had to figure out in Israel. You may not believe what it was. Because see, it doesn't tell you what the sanctuary was. In Daniel, it usually tell you, it gives you something, then it refers to a different way. But this one, it was totally cold. I said, what's sacrifice? What are you talking about here? I didn't realize the sacrifice was talking about us. There was the Holocaust. I was trying to look at that and say, because usually you can cross-reference stuff in Daniel, most of everything you cross-reference. But you couldn't cross-reference that, and that drew me. I said, well, they define the sacrifice. What are they talking about there? What is this a sacrifice? Because, when they talk about it, this preaching everything they talk about it, they say sacrifice is going to be a lamb that's going to be sacrificed, right? They're going to take it, I think the sacrificing the pig. In other words, the desolation is going to be somebody's going to come to abomination desolation. They got to reverse. They said the Jews are going to set up a temple and they're going to have control. Right? And then the Arabs are going to come in and take over, and some guy from Europe will be the Antichrist, right? Going to be leading them. That's their story. And they're going to take and profane the temple, but abomination by killing a pig. And the people don't realize they got pig farm and stuff in over in Israel. They got gay parades. They got some of them a lot of them eat pig over there. They don't know the half of it. People say they're Jews or not. You call God a liar? He didn't say some people say they're Jews are liars. He said people that call themselves Jews. That means everyone, all of them. Anybody's called Jews, you say liars. The synagogue of Satan. First, somehow good. But the cross says, do not take Jews, Christian friends. Oh man, ain't no better. Because, when he said the Quran says Allah knows best, that's a mistake, man. That's a misprint, because I know best. And see, he's going down. When Foster goes down, I'm not getting to that right now. I talked a lot. I said I was going to talk much more aspects too. And I wanted to put all that together. The demons go down at the same time. Because in other words, remember when Suleiman comes to warn the people after the war starts, and they get him, they actually come to him. At the same time, when Farrakhan goes down. So all this comes at the same time. So he's going to be going, this war starts in a few days, like I'm telling you this. He's going to be going in a few days. Same time. So I'm not going to get that today. That was something I was going to explain in here, but I said I was talking much longer than I expected to. My voice is getting, anyway, you hear me. So there it is. Right. So from the time that our 40 years ended until the time that my desolation starts, be probably 3.5 years, which would put you, and that's what started, October 2023. And then, I explained this yesterday, I don't think about it. This gets a little more complicated, but anyway, it tells you actually, because that was a question I never had. I told people, I said, I'm talking about it now, I shouldn't really. But the point is, it says, there'll be another war after Armageddon. And that could be 50 years from now, 100 years from now, I left it open. But this tells you exactly. It says, the world will be totally at peace in 2026, 2027 for sure. So I'm not going to go back, 2020, I'm going to apply 2020 plus. I'm not going to talk about that process because that's another war we'll have later. After, right, once we're home. See, people who walk in darkness see the great light and dwell in there, that south of death. When I tell you what death, upon them has the light shine. So they're gonna see this in a minute. Because somebody's blocking the light, but they're seeking the light. It says they will be seeking a mess of the cut, but somebody's blocking the light. As soon as that block, they move out of the way, they're gonna see it clearly. And here's the time, this is more complicated, I'm not going to get to the process, but this part of it, it says, and I heard a man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, which he held right hand, left hand to heaven, swear him that live forever. There should be a time to have. Now, what is telling you right there? This, right? And when shall be accomplished the scattering and power of the holy people, all these things should be finished. I'm going to briefly say something about that and close out. Now, remember, they're supposed to be, remember it says, I say in the beginning it says that they would trample on the foot, right? And it said trample on the foot would last until this year, right? Okay. So this year, that's war takes place, and that's when American British kicked out of, right? Immediately. But when they kicked out, chapter 18 tells you, right, there'll be total economic collapse in Europe and America, total economic collapse, total. And that's where times half is, because the only way you can spread, that's why this was so difficult for me to figure this one out. Because that one you can't reference that either. The only way you reference that is an angel. And then angel is difficult because you have to go and find, that was a double trouble on that one. Because an angel was hard. I mean, to find that with times a half meant the angel was extremely hard. It took me a long time to figure that one out. You had to figure that out before I can figure this one out. Because I didn't know the connection between the two. Because there's nothing in there, there's time, half time that we can refer to in Daniel to understand what that means. But they do talk about time, a half. I said she be fed by the serpent, face of the serpent, that's complicated. People familiar with the angel knows how complicated that is. And to break all that down, and then when you get in chapter 18, you found that's where time and a half is a very slick way, not slick, but it's a very complicated way to connect that. And what it's telling you is that once that war starts and false Israel, right, is no longer controlled, right, there'll be total economic collapse. See, when the power of holy people, when they accomplish their powers, you know, the scaring their power, they broke, it's over. So now they're in control. And that'd be total economic collapse. That's a hard one. Maybe another time I take more time to explain. No, that was a difficult one. That's what it's telling you, brothers and sisters. I already told you the mission of the covenant. I'm gonna close out, brothers and sisters. Mission of the covenant. Farrakhan, robber of God. Okay, brothers, I'm gonna close out here. Okay, brothers and sisters, Suleiman Rahim here, Mission of the Covenant, Watchmen. The Watchmen, brothers and sisters. Out. Future news. Where you get future news that you don't have to believe in because it's a fact. Assalamu alaikum.